it. Hi, everybody. Good evening. How y'all doing tonight? It is a great evening. If you're coming on right now, go ahead and come in. Let me know who you are. Comment where you're from. We have some exciting topics to discuss tonight. And we're going to be talking about a very hot topic that's going on right now, and that is about banks, predatory lending, bank membership, what's going on in the news, all these great topics. So what I'm going to do is just give a few minutes for a few people to come on here before we get started. Let me go to my comment section. All right. So as you come in, say hello. We are so excited and want to hear exactly from you so we can know how to move on and move forward from predatory lending practices, predatory unethical practices that are controlled by things that we cannot control because we are not in position to control. So there's still some services and financial products and membership things that we depend on to excel and to grow exponentially. And we have been bombarded over the past. When I say we, I'm talking about a certain class of people. A certain class of people that are in certain income brackets. So we have been targeted. When they take a look at our information, they take a look at our name, they take a look at our address, they take a look at our area codes, and they automatically come to an assumption that we're not worthy. And that's a very hard pill to swallow. And, we have so many of us that has lived our best life, striving for our families, making plans to position ourselves to get in the best position to do very well, to feed our families, to excel, to grow, and just to be slapped in the face by a corporation or organization that just really don't care about people. All they care is about the numbers.
Absolutely correct. I'm back. They're gonna mess around and let me back in the door. Absolutely correct. I got my glass of water, ice water with lemon in it. They had a full day today, fully recharged. Man, what we need for people to do, because this right here, and we'll explain to you how it all came together. But what we need for people to do, for one, is to actually let us know where in the world they are from. I said, where are you at, man? That is the number one thing we need for folks to do. We did and I'll share the story a little bit because I got pulled out of my dungeon, head in the sand, fully dived in, because this great woman that is presented right here, right now, what she has been doing is actually busting her ass. I'm saying, literally grinding it, right? To out there in the world, making sure that she creates opportunities for people such as ourselves, like-minded people, the tribe that we have been creating for the past several years, over a decade worth, and once it got to a place to where we could say, hold on, man, this is what our people, and when I say our people, I'm not talking about the color of our skin. These are people that can relate to our circumstances, our struggles, our ambitions, people who actually want to stop being victims and become victors, point blank period. And when she got this thing to a certain place, I said, wow, hold on, man, this is it. This is it. Right? And was I said this is it, guess what she did? Called me on the camera. So here we go. I'm back and it feels great.
By things that we can.
I think this light is making me look extra light skinned, man. I feel like T.I. I feel like T.I. without the bank account. So anyway, we're gathered here today on this monumental occasion. So the first thing first, man, anybody, what we have to do once again, because we are rebuilding what we already built. And what we have to do is take in the factor that for some reason, this platform that we use, we cannot see everyone's comments or their we can't see everybody that's on here at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
We already been through this. We have done that. Now, now we ready to go ahead and roll it. Last minute occasion. So if you can actually, if you are on, and I believe how it works, because I can see viewers. We got quite a few people viewing. We got a few hearts up there, but we can't see all the comments. So one thing I remember is that if you click on the direct stream that was shared to the page that says live stream, you click on that, we'll be able to see your actual comments as we go along.
Right.
So engagement is everything. So if we look below on the little ticker, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ticker, that was the poll, right? We did a poll. We were able to do a poll pretty quick, and we got some good results from it. You remember that, Shalita?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. And the poll was, have you ever experienced being effed over? We'll use a clean version today. Just keep in mind, we grown adults. But have you ever experienced being effed over by a bank? Point blank, period. Have you ever had that type of experience? And the direct poll, we actually had a few votes on that one. And we had let me see. We had, I believe, we had 9 yeses, and one out of all that, we only had one no.
Mm-hmm.
That no came from you. I just want to let you know that no did.
Don't put me on the spotlight like that.
No, I'm just saying it was very interesting. But it goes to show you that that it's really a common thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's really a common thing. And me personally, I already know for me. I feel like I done got effed over by banks so many times. I don't have no hesitation telling them to get like dragged. Listen, for a while I was barred. Like they blackballed me for even getting a bank account, for a while. And that's not something to be proud of, but it's like it shows the state of I guess I could be a representation of a lot of people.
Yeah.
We weren't taught none. Yeah, we weren't taught none of this stuff in school. I dealt with cash for a long time, and if you start messing up my cash and give me these little charge you ain't told me nothing about, what I'm gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm gonna keep my cash. So anyway, getting back to it, let's get some engagement going, man. So, like I said, make sure that you're coming. I'm gonna kind of monitor from a few different places I was able to do, and then we'll dive into the poll and get to the meat.
Right.
Yeah. So anybody, if you are watching this, make sure that you share. Make sure that you share. Is there anybody out there that will share? Sharing is caring. Oh, I got to share, man. That was awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you're able to see this, if you're able to hear this, and it sounds like some information that you really are interested in, it might be somebody that's close to you that will stop asking you to borrow $50. You know what I'm saying? Or stop asking you to co-sign on the next vehicle. You might want to share this information with them because Shalita has quite a bit that she's already shared with us. So make sure that you are sharing this. Comment real quick. Let's see what we got, and then we'll get into the poll. You got anything else to add, Shalita, while we wait on that?
Not at the moment, other than, if you're watching right now, come on in, like, share. This is definitely decided to do something special for Facebook. But as you know, I am building my YouTube tribe. So you can definitely click the link in the comments that says like and subscribe. So click subscribe. But if you're here, let us know you're here. Say hello, what's up? Welcome to the conversation. And we are really ready to dive in and really go somewhere. We need to have a great understanding of what not what happened, but how it happened. Because we have to be in position to react, to retaliate, uh to not just settle with being the victim. And we have to know when we have been the victim. And you imagine how many people went through the mortgage lending, being turned down, and really thought that they were not up to par. Can you imagine the confidence that was hindered during that process? And this came from Wells Fargo. And just recently, the judge put the hammer down. It's like, you know what, we can go a little further and pursue Wells Fargo in court, but that's neither here nor there. The opportunity has been missed. So the opportunity is gone. And like somebody says, you got to take advantage of the opportunity in the lifetime of the opportunity.
I wonder who said that.
I don't know. A good friend of mine.
Yeah.
So even though they're in court, we already know the banks get persecuted, but the restitution is low. There's no way that you can pay for the opportunity that they missed, because that opportunity that they had will not come again.
All right. So moving forward, let's look at this poll, because we did a poll to find out how many people, in a short period of time. Like I said, it was something that pretty much came together at a almost like a last second. So we did a poll to find out how many people feel like they have been effed over, right? And I'm gonna share with you, just because the one thing about it, and this is what I'm noticing. One thing about it is, and I thought about it myself, because I was in a certain type of institution where I help people get loans for vehicles. That. So I want to think about, say, hold on, man, these folks gonna be pissed off at me because I'm sharing certain type, I'm painting things in certain type of situations. So just for me hesitating and thinking about it,
right,
I can only imagine how the general population feels when you start dealing with banks, because you got to keep in mind, the bank has power to be able to take away your home that you don't actually own. You paying them to get into. You follow what I'm saying? There's an agreement. Banks have the power to take away vehicles. They have the power to take away this, the power to take away. So if you mess around and piss off a bank, and you fall on hard times or something, because hard times, first thing you're supposed to do is call the bank and say, hey, look, man, I don't know, I might just need like another 10, 15, 30, 45, 6 months to get this bag right. You know what I'm saying? That power, like I literally thought about, I said, I wonder how many people are actually scared to even say anything about their own experiences. Because they're not in that financial space, right? But but I had one. Okay, my great partner here from Flint, Michigan, who's on the other side of the world, Mr. J.B. Baker, right? We appreciate your service, bro. Bank of America did him dirty, and he decided to close his account. He took his business elsewhere to another bank. One of my great mentors, Bank of America again. Then Wells Fargo is notorious for scams and overly racist practices. Bank of America, worst bank ever, almost ruined my small business.
Wow.
I won't even get their credit card. Brother Winston White, we appreciate you sharing that. And Bank of America, but Citibank is worse. That's from Miss Jenkins. So it's interesting how I would love to be able to get to a place where we get a little bit deeper, and I think this might be a topic that we need to revisit later on.
Yeah,
and really set it up to where we can put it structured a whole lot better, because this is something that I think there are more people who have experience having this type of feeling or having this type of relationship, then there are people who can say, nah, it ain't never happened to me.
Right.
So I definitely like to structure that. So that's our poll. That's feedback, a little bit of the feedback from the poll. What I learned about doing structuring like this is that you get a lot more stuff later on. So yeah, there will be a part 2 in my understanding. Right. All right, cool. So on to the next. And this is where we start talking about current events. And this is what really made me interested on being a part of this. You know, there were a couple recent current events that transpired and took place that you brought to my attention. I was like, what? I wasn't paying attention to none of that. I had my head buried in the sand. So let's and as a matter of fact, and even before that, what impressed me so much and really got my head wired towards looking at and say, oh, hey, this is definitely a area of popular interest. Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka. Did you know anything about it before I said anything about it?
Yes.
You did? So you had already saw it and you ain't share with me. That's fine. I just want to tell you.
He was talking about it. It wasn't the same one that you saw. He was on the breakfast show with
Breakfast Club. I listen to all the time. Yeah. So with the Waka Flocka, now I'm gonna tell you, hair looks marvelous, by the way. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So with the Breakfast Club, not the Breakfast Club, Waka Flocka, right? He said that he was taking his money, like he had learned to take his money and flip it inside of insurance policies, which is something that I jumped on and saw you teach a small group about, and actually help a couple folks get lined up to do it.
Right.
And it kind of blew my mind because the language I was speaking, I'm like, yeah. So how do you actually get it done? You know, but he was talking about like it's simple.
Right.
And what I'm hearing, I'm literally in a group of people, and I felt like the dumbest person in the room at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, which for me is a great space to always be in. But the Waka Flocka, you gotta remember, shout Bud Shouter. Like, shout out to my cousin Blake Hunter up there in North Carolina. Shout Bud Shouter is how I remember Waka Flocka, but Waka Flocka wasn't so much a shout Bud Shouter that we thought. You get what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Shit.
What? That was his nickname?
Nah, it's a whole nother story. Don't worry about that one. But it was just interesting that this you got a young brother like that, man, who already knows about this. And he's been practicing. He's already been doing it.
Right.
You know, and this is something, if he got up on that, he's been doing it, how long has it been around? Because I always look at trends. And if you're last in the trend, normally you catch short end of the stick every single time. You know, so that's moving on to the next part of our conversation.
Right.
Right. So where we're at now, we're moving forward. It was a couple of recent events. You know, what's the first one you want to share? Because I really want to get a better understanding of it, to be honest with you. I didn't really dive into it. I've been watching people get shot. You know, I've been focused on the stories of the folks shooting up railroad systems like everybody else. You know, right. I ain't focused on nothing about going on with everyday money. You know what I'm saying? So, what's one of the stories that you actually brought up? Because it was like 3 or 4 of them that you brought up just in the past week.
Well, it was Wendy Williams and you know, I don't remember these rappers' names.
No, Soulja Boy. No, it was Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
Soulja Boy, tell him. That's one thing Soulja Boy gonna do. He gonna tell him every single time. Wendy Williams, what happened with her?
Well, you know, she been going through a lot with her health, and it's been publicized. So of course, she banks with Wells Fargo, but her accounts are not, like regular checking and savings. Those are regular accounts. So what she did was she has a account where you have a fiduciary. So basically somebody in charge, somebody that's authorized or in charge to
What's
make
the name? What's the name? What?
Fiduciary.
Fiduciary.
Yes.
And that's somebody that's in charge of your money.
Not necessarily in charge of the money, but if there's like basically in our lane in financial services, say, with me being a broker, and I assist you and open up an account, and I have a fiduciary responsibility to protect my clients' assets or try to keep them from losing it or protect against fraud, theft, those kind of things. So her financial advisor was saying, no, you can't take your money out because we don't believe that you're mentally stable. They made that decision on her behalf. What did they use to determine that? I'm not sure, but there's another side to that as well. And I've been on the other side as well, to when I roll over money from one account to another account. That means that a client has came to me and said, hey, you know what? My money is not, really growing over here. I really hadn't talked to my advisor in a long time. I really don't know what's going on. And you know what? I like what you're doing. I would like to roll my money over into one of the, something that you offer. So it's called a qualified rollover. And I've had somebody from where that bank or that institution call the client and be like, hey, they try to, what they call, have defamation of character or defamation of company, where they talk bad about them to prevent them from taking the money out. So it could have been a prevention to just hold on as long as they can to her money before she takes it out.
So in a roundabout way, a simple layman's term, for dumb people like me when it comes down to this, with basically when you hire a broker or you hire somebody that is certified, licensed, however, whatever, to protect your investment. So for all the aspiring artists, all the aspiring rappers, sports stars, blah, blah, when you do get that bread, so when you hire a broker, that broker actually has the right to protect you against
not a right, but a responsibility.
A responsibility. So they are obligated to protect you against your money.
Well, there's a certain, not protocols, but certain things that we're looking at, which is in like the code of ethics.
But what I'm saying, if a broker gets to a place and they can present evidence, right, that, hey, this ain't in the best interest of my client, they can actually stop their client from getting their money.
Yeah, they can put a hold on it until something is proved, or they have to come up with a proof, or something has to be done to say, hey, I'm good. Or,
in essence, in a nutshell, they can actually somehow, some way, stop you or prevent you from getting your own money that you work for.
Correct.
That you yourself.
And not only that, if it's with the bank, they don't have all the money anyway, so you have to wait. And that's what ran into
a whole other level.
Yeah, so that's what Soulja Boy ran into.
So let's go ahead and do our disclaimer, right? Because the whole point is that this game, and that's why for me it was so prevalent and important. If anybody watching is not familiar about my background, my history, is that I was involved with a lot of community work, for quite a bit of time. And that's what my passion, that's what my whole liveness still does. And the one thing that I've noticed, with all these problems that we keep discuss and keep coming up. And I was watching a documentary the other day, and they was talking. The documentary is called 137 Shots, and it was a spin-off of exactly you had something happen with Tamir Rice, and then 10 years later you had 137 shots fired into a vehicle that basically you had 2 unarmed people in there, and the police fired 137 shots into that vehicle. And just like Tamir Rice, and with that situation, both of them walked. Boom. I watched that, and even when they got down to the documentary, it kept going back to the same exact place. Is that when you don't have economic control of your own environment, you become subjective to your environment and the people who have economic control of it. So for me, a topic like this all the way around the board is that you cannot, everybody wants freedom, but can you afford the price? Plain and simple. So to be very loud and clear, I have someone who is presenting information that it's not just the credentials, quote unquote, because you have plenty of folks, they went to school to do something, they took a test, they did. We got somebody on here who does it every day, and is in charge of a brokerage that affords opportunity for other people to be able to do it as well. So disclaimer, you need to give your financial disclaimer right now.
Yes. Well, as a disclaimer, we are not here to give any financial advice. We are not here to advise on any type of products. However, on the individual basis, our firm does work with people like yourself to configure, what would be the best products or the best financial advice for your particular situation. But on this platform, it is for educational purposes only.
Great disclaimer. All right, cool. So let me see. Yep, cool. We got a little bit more trapped up. All right, I'm finna put this phone to the side, cause if don't nobody else get it, I'm gonna get it. I'm saying I'm gonna figure it out. All right, cool. So with the Wendy Williams situation, basically she was able, she was being withheld the right to actually have access to her own funds that she generated under in a way that she wanted to have access to those funds.
Correct.
Because a professional said that she was not of sound mind. A professional made a decision.
And it was probably more so because the bank has more compliance, more restrictions, and they have to answer to their stockholders. Right? So the money is just not available. Even 50,000, 100 is just not available if you try to come and withdraw it. So I honestly, in my professional opinion, I don't believe that she was coming to do a withdrawal, like take her money out that way. I believe she was trying to move it from one institution to another.
But Soldier Boy was.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into that part, because now that is the common. That's a common person. Hey, look, man, I know. Hey, I done put $2 million.
Yeah, he thinking literally.
I done put $2,000 in the bank. I done put $2,000. I know me, man. I done had a hurt feeling knowing that I done put $2,000 into a bank. And then here it is. Next thing I know, you telling me I got an overdraft fee and all this stuff here, and I owe you $350. I put $2,000 in, man. You ain't protect my $2,000. So I can only imagine you go to talking about multiple zeros behind a whole bunch of stuff. So what happened with Soulja Boy?
Well, the sad part is that he actually thought that he can go in and withdraw that type of money, like cash. That's the sad part. That is not.
How much money are you talking about?
It was $100,000. He wanted to withdraw $100,000, and he thought. that money is not available immediately. If you deposit it, you cannot just go up there and withdraw that immediately. Those funds have been restructured and they are serving its purpose. It's not available for an immediate withdrawal. So, just to piggyback on Wendy Williams, even with that money, it's sitting somewhere earning money. So it's like every day that they can hold on to it is another day that they get to earn more. So if they can tie it up for just a little while, it serves its purpose.
So you mean to tell me if I get $100 in cash, I take my $100,000 to the bank, deposit it into the bank, I can't come back tomorrow and get my $100,000 out?
It's not a promise.
Why it ain't no promise? I put it in.
Because the bank they don't storage money. They reinvest money. They are not your storage unit.
Well, why don't I just get with I might as well take my $100,000 and put it in Bitcoin.
I don't know anything about Bitcoin.
Me either. And I don't know nothing about this damn bank. Cause last time I checked, if I took my cash into, like, if I take my cash and load it in the ATM, I'm supposed to be able to have it on my debit card and swipe it. So you can't, like, even if you put 100,000 into the bank.
That's why they want you to use your black card for that. They want you to use credit. They really getting away all along from money, period. They just want you to use the system in totality. So
that is crazy.
While we're, why we have a certain demographic of people storaging money, just storaging it. And we scrambling, trying to figure out what to do with this money besides just sitting here. And it's not even sitting there, because if you won't figure it out, somebody else is gonna figure it out. So the bank knows exactly what to do. So if there is enough of 10,000, 20,000, 5,000 sitting in the bank, it might not be big for you. But if they have multiple members sitting that amount of money in there, their earning power is great.
So basically, what the banks are doing is they collect all that money.
That's what the membership is about.
So they collect all that money, take all those people money, turn around and then put it into some type of investment.
They invest with the insurance companies.
Which you can do yourself.
Correct. But you got to remember, bank members aren't investing. And then the banks, they definitely not talking to them about investing their money if they don't have a minimum of 100,000 or better in their account. So they're not giving them options. So if you come in and ask them what my options are, the first thing they're going to do is look and see how much you have. And then from there, they're going to tell you what you can get with them, of course, through them. So they can lock it up on an annual interest rate. That means they're only going to pay you once a year. But they're going to make compound interest and pay you once a year.
Now, my honest question is going to be this, because we having this conversation right here. And what I'm noticing is I don't have any engagement. And with this, and I can truthfully and honestly say, because I remember, that's always been my thing. That's why I learned how to be pretty good at marketing. It's because coming from community work, everybody want to talk about Lil Ray getting shot and the funeral and the police doing this to Lil Pookie and all that stuff there. But when it came down to actually being involved in preventing those types of situations, ain't nobody show up to the meeting. We'll show up to the club. We wouldn't show up to the Boys and Girl Club and for trophy night, or for you'll go to the parade or to the fair or whatever. You go to all these other places where you can have fun, but you won't make sure you spend time to go to the PTO meeting.
Right.
And that's what I learned how to get good at, is creating that certain type of community engagement. But it took a whole lot of work to do it.
Mm.
And at this point, I said, at this point, it's like literally this information that because literally I'm having this conversation with you, but I actually had the opportunity to not share any of this and just kind of just had these conversations with you and keep it to myself.
Right.
Which financially, I probably be in a whole, yeah, I had the opportunity to be in a much better situation. Even though I am not doing too bad, but at the same time, I could really do like how a lot of wealthy people who weren't born wealthy have already done and withheld that information. Yeah, man.
Keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
And
You
move
gotta
on.
think about it, man.
Take the time. Right.
You gotta think about it, man. Like all this information that I'm getting, man. You know how many wealthy people I know throughout my life? They ain't never broke this down to me. Now it makes sense to me why, because I had a dude that called himself to be a mentor of mine, to be a quote unquote brother of mine, until he didn't like something that I did when it came involved with doing a project one time. I ain't talked to him since, but he gave me quote unquote game and showing me, hey, all he said was, hey, open these separate business, these separate bank accounts.
Right.
And don't put no more than $10,000 in each one.
Right.
To this very moment, where I understood why the hell he said.
Yeah.
Because you can't have access to that money immediately just in case you need it. And you never allow for them to have enough power and control over you by taking all your money and putting it in one spot. I never knew why this dude was telling me this. But it literally just made sense by having this one conversation to you, why this dude was operating that way, but he never gave me the game. He never explained it to me. He never broke down to me why you would do that.
Right.
But now it makes perfect sense. If I don't put all my money into one spot, one space, that means I'm not being totally and fully controlled by an institution. That's crazy, man. And to really, hit the nail in the coffin. Nah, this is, we got to find out who really down for this call right here.
Yeah. Beyond that is only so much protection too, that each count actually shelters only so much of protection. So when people are aware that, they diversify their bank accounts. All accounts should be diversified. Insurance company have a certain level that they cover, as far as like if anything happened, like listen, this is going to be here. The bank, they have a certain amount that they cover. If anything happened, we're only obligated to reimburse you this amount. Anything over that, it's a loss. We don't have to do anything.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Coach. Where I'm at, where I feel right now, because I look at everything with because I remember I started something called Shift. And I started that. Shots out to my little big brother, Keith McIntyre, on his wedding. These past couple of days, that boy in Vegas. Master K is in Vegas with his beautiful bride, and they doing really tremendous things, to be honest with you, but it's what I'm seeing, point blank period, is like, I'm tired of being around folks who want to play victim. Like you cannot become a conqueror.
Yeah.
Of outer situations until you become a conqueror of yourself. There's no way to do it.
Right.
How can I face off with another warrior? I'm supposed to be a warrior, and I face off with this warrior right here. But soon as the warrior right here hit me too hard, hold on. You hit me. You did this.
Right.
I'm coming from a victim mentality. At some point, you got to take some type of ownership of your own situation. Not saying that it's not right for you to speak against your atrocity or speak against what happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
But if the only thing you ever speak about is what happened to you, when are you gonna get to a place to use it as when are you gonna get to the place to where you can share the story of this is what I did with it?
Right.
That it's not fuel. That's a weapon against yourself that you are actually embracing. I'm
Mm.
allowed to hold on to this negative energy, or this negative situation, or whatever has happened to me. I'm just gonna stay in this place. I'm a
Mhm.
bit nah. At some point, we have to, and I see it all the time. Like we get the financial stuff.
Mhm.
We weren't taught this in school. Great, we weren't taught in school, but I have witnessed when COVID hit. I
Mhm.
witnessed people that I personally knew, and I knew they weren't taught none of this stuff in school.
Right.
For I know for a fact they weren't taught none of this stuff. They became multi-millionaires out of COVID.
Mm.
You know, coming up this fall, I will be able to look on Netflix and see a young 26-year-old brother that I sold a car to in South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When he was like 23, 24. And we get to look at him on, I literally remember what he was doing back then. Saw the banks and all that stuff. And
Yeah,
now
I
he
remember.
has a contract. He has a contract with Netflix.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
that's powerful.
and it's based off of the business that he created.
Mm.
Ain't that something? You know, so that dude, he you know, that's why I'm looking at is the shift of the mindset. And
Right.
yeah, this broadcast right here, to be honest with you, I don't really feel like doing it too much anymore. I want to see what people's hearts really at, because the information and the game that you giving is too powerful. And at the end of the day, this is what countries are built on.
Mm-hmm.
This information, this we you know, people come side with it. Oh, it's the education. No, we have to understand what education is. And if I have any of my former quote unquote kids who are now grown watching this, you remember that I taught education is learning the tools that you need in order to be successful.
Right.
This is a tool that you're sharing with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to give away that. I don't just want to give away that information like that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, we has to be supported. You know, it's simple.
Yeah. So where I'm at with because you know how I am. When I look at something, I recognize something because I was looking at the spirit of everything. I'm like, cool, because I'm in a place right now to where I'm feeding off. I want to feed off as much positive energy I possibly can. You know, law of reciprocity. You put it out, you get it back. So if we put out nothing but generosity and positive energy, that's what we'll receive in turn.
Yeah.
But also, you got to guard that.
Mm-hmm.
So if let's put out something that's going to really be reciprocal, we can control that type of reciprocity. We control that type of reciprocation,
right?
You know, by making sure that let's share this with the tribe. Who's going to be the tribe, man? That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I'm at with it. I don't really think we should go too much further. That's just my
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
So well, who's ever watching now, if you want to really dive into this topic, what we'll probably do is a private Zoom conference.
No. I got one better than that. No, because I already thought completely ahead. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna qualify. So we'll put that energy out there, and we're gonna see we are going to be able to understand who's like-minded, and start kind of building it from there. You know, let's build actual tribe. So let's set it up. Let's talk a little bit more about this, because I really, because like I said, it was something that was thrown together last second. It was really done off the cuff. It was really done out of the spirit of everything.
Right.
And as soon as I get a taste of it, and now I'm able to see the actual vision, I troubleshoot. Mm-hmm. So now it's because this ain't no popularity contest.
Right.
You know, I remember, and that's what I saw. And that's really what got me into it, is that the meeting that we had, this last one, man, private meeting, you know, and we only had a few people showed up, but out of that few people, well, we'll keep that on the rest. What came out of that gosh, all it takes is one.
Just one.
But it's the rule of 10. You don't need number 10 people to accomplish anything it is you want to do in the world.
Right.
It's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, absolutely, absolutely. I'm just glad we went through the most of this. If anybody could take something away from it at this little standpoint right here, great. If if you look at it next time, and now I'm gonna make sure let's go to the drawing board and make sure we kind of map this out to where we put the best effort out as far as saying, okay, cool. Let's put this darter energy right here in the middle of the target. And whoever come away from that, that's what we build from. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Because they don't get to see what it is that, especially what you get to see. I get to see a lot of stuff, what I'm exposed to every day. But you get to see it all the way dive in. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. Now I really want to laser focus that target and be very mindful and conscious of who we bring into that room. Because it's a whole nother world on that side.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this segment up.
Absolutely.
I wish that we could dive in a little bit more, but you know what? We go off synergy and energy, and if it's not there, if it's not flowing, I've learned to let it be. Yeah. So that's just what it is.
Well, it's flowing for me perfect. Like that's what I'm telling you, man. Because I've already been through this too many times. Like because people that go to the business world all day long, I challenge anybody in the business world to come into the community world. I dare you to do it. Because there's so much that you have to, because no matter what, if you are going to sustain any type of vision in the community world, you have to have an understanding of the business world in order to just get by. Just get by, not to thrive. I can easily just turn my back on everybody and go sell stuff. Great. You know what I'm saying? I can do that all day long. Easy. But have a conscience with it. Why do it happen? Start actually having a heart for people and their conditions and everything else. Then deal with the politics. Something totally different. So it is, for me, what I've learned is when as soon as you notice, boom, hold on. Pause. Now organizing, structure, boom. We put enough energy out there. We're gonna see what came out of it. And then now we're gonna put it, we're gonna go ahead and strategize, mobilize, and what other thing Killer Mike said? Killer Mike said 3 times. But that's what we gonna do. He came with a bank out of it, man. Like shit. So he must be doing something right. Strategize, mobilize, and organize, strategize, and mobilize. He came with Greenwood Bank, man. I done got an invitation from him. You didn't get your invitation?
No, I didn't get my invitation. Man,
I done got my invitation from Greenwood Bank, man. Killer Mike would start a bank out of that.
Wow.
So that's what we got to be on, man. It's time out to keep playing.
Yeah.
It's time out to keep playing. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. So anybody, if you still watching this or you see the replay or whatever, call to action. Call to action. If this energy lines up with anything you're doing or possibly could, you better pay attention. We put something together, we'll put our signals out. You catch it, we roll. If you don't, we'll talk to you. Plain and simple. Appreciate it. All right, cool. You want to leave the people with something?
No, I'm good.
I'm good too. I'm outstanding. Hey, you should have felt that energy today because it went to popping off of me by 5 o'clock. And I said, oh man, I got to get up out of here. Things went to clicking. I said, oh, yeah. So, all right, cool. With no further ado, man, we appreciate everyone's time. Like I said, if you catch the replay, just keep in mind, it's going to be some real deal stuff going on. All the time. Ain't nobody wasting no time over here.
Right.
And I share with you right now. The only thing we interested is building our tribe.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find out what that means. All right, cool. So, no further ado. All hearts, all minds are satisfied. We shall meet again.
All right.
Yes, sir. Jason Coach J, we got Shalee Shantae, the Millionaire Portfolio Group. You'll find out what that BC at the top.